much water's in the bottom of that thing. Today's video is brought to you by turning mistakes into their own thing. That is the theme that is revealing itself today. Because what would you look like? What would you act like? What would you talk like if every mistake you make today was labeled as a stupid waste of time, and you would be further in your goals right now if you weren't so stupid? But conversely, what would you look like? What would you, I don't know why I always put look like first. What would you look like? What would you talk like? What would you act like if you believed every mistake was a hilarious new plot twist? Or an exciting plot twist, I guess, if it's a bigger mistake than this one. Some mistakes are exciting. What if it wasn't an interruption to the day, but a revelation of what your day is supposed to be about? This day is about drinking out of unexpected receptacles. That could not have been more challenging nor refreshing if it were at Oktoberfest. Now I want to go. Now I want to do that. Drink one of those quart mugs while everybody's cheering for me, and then, like, find out I don't know. Seemed like a good time to finally do this shot. Found this sign. Side of the road. I knew immediately I'd had an encounter with the profound. Because you're either gonna, the road is always closed. You're either going to plan your detour now, or you're gonna smash into the sign. Like, happened with that. Only you'll be on the side of the road, not the sign. I'm on a roll today. Made my second mistake just a little while after I recorded that. It's my second mistake of the day. It's my second mistake. My second mistake. I forgot to eat. I was so busy doing creative writing that for the first time, I wrote up until it was class time, and I had an empty stomach except for 2 cups of coffee. So that's a mistake. We're gonna see what this is like. So I went and got a protein shake real fast. So I told my students, highly caffeinated, make a protein shake. My insights are gonna be a little different. I'm on a different wavelength today. Let's go with this. Because even your mistakes can set you in an interesting direction. It's at least worth checking out. I'm not gonna make a habit of that, but it went fine. And my French press mistake was turned out to be the perfect metaphor for what one of those students needed to hear in her essay. Rolling with what's happening. Let your mistakes reveal to you what we are learning today. They're not an interruption to your quest. They are the quest. I don't believe that yet. That's why I'm making a video about it, so that I can learn to believe that better. The road's always closed. Get used to it. And honestly, that wasn't the first time I tried shooting that scene. I tried shooting that in here a couple of times, a couple of different ways, pretending that I had thought to shoot it right after I realized that I had failed to eat breakfast. Just stayed like, whoa, you guys, I'm on a roll making mistakes. It's 10:44 and I've forgotten to eat breakfast. It wasn't like that, but it was pretty insincere. It was like trying to simulate what that would have been like. Reach into the past and find that non-existent video clip. Look, maybe it was a mistake to forget to vlog that bit that fit into my theme. But I don't have footage of that. So I rolled with it and I showed you the sign that's on the outside of that wall. That's, just letting it unfold. Don't fix every mistake. You need to have momentum forward with your day. Your mistakes are part of your day. Let them carry you forward. Let them define what you're doing next. As long as what you're doing next is a good thing. Don't fix every mistake. Don't try to repair every mistake, but respond to every mistake. That's pretty good. I'm going to write that on my whiteboard. Perfection really means completeness. That's what the word really means. Sort of a spiritual completeness. it being complete in every way, not just done, but actually completed in all of the ways that it can be. But notice there's a limitation in there, right? Perfect in the ways that it can be perfect. You could train a dog perfectly. Perfectly trained dog isn't gonna write a symphony or write a computer program, right? Because the dog is being all that he can be. How much can this video be? It's not gonna be, it's not gonna be about everything. It's a silly video about mistakes. It's gonna be perfect. I think the point is that I'm a bit of a perfectionist going back in the past, which means going back in the past to try and fix things and make them better, when really that is keeping me from moving forward into the future. That's keeping the day from coming to an end. That's keeping anything I'm doing from coming to an end. So nothing can be perfected. Perfectionism destroys itself. Wow, this is a good experiment. Teaching me some good stuff. All right, time to do some grading. I'll switch my day into the next act. The thunder will not get you. It's only in the clouds. Eat that leaf, butterfly. This is my TV show I'm writing. When you write a show, you write a document to show to the people who pick shows. I've made a lot of mistakes on this, but I'm working with somebody who knows how to spot the mistakes. Those are not mistakes that I roll with. I was thinking about how the endless power of word processing almost keeps you from writing anything, because right in front of you is less of a paragraph and more of a sandbox of things you can go and tinker with. You can even change the color of the sand. You can change the size of the granules. How many sandcastles would you build if, with the touch of a button, you could change the size of the buildings you just made? Going back and add a hyphen, change that phrase. You need to go back and fix mistakes, but you don't need to do it while you are producing something. Those are different skills. Computers hide that from us. Go back and use the passive voice instead of the active voice. Well, maybe those are good changes, but you have to keep them from hampering your forward momentum. I think computers have a great risk of stagnating us in that way. The freedom to infinitely change what you've made before you've made it. I wish you could see the colors of this smoke. It's blue and orange. When you really get up close to something, really sit still with it, you can see what color it really is. Fascinating thing happened with the mistakes vlog. On day 2 of rolling with mistakes, I made a mistake that it was impossible to roll with. It's a Saturday, we had to go somewhere at 11. In my mind, I'm gonna try and get all my responsibilities done before 11. I've got in mind how to do that. And then on my way out to the office, my wife asked me to talk about a mistake that I had made in our relationship in the past. And I thought, she must need to talk, this must be urgent, right? That must be why she's bringing this up. And we spend like an hour and a half talking about it, and then I'm upset, and I have to spend an hour calming down. And then it's time to leave. So I did not get a whole day worth of things done before we had to leave. Turned out, she didn't even want me to do that. It had just popped into her head as a thing to talk about, and I could have said, let's talk about that later. I don't have time to talk about it in the morning. She didn't have time to talk about it this morning. It would have helped her if I'd said, let's talk about that tonight. So I applied the idea of roll with your mistakes in the wrong way. Oh, here's a mistake that I made years ago. It still needs to be talked about. I guess that's the kind of day I'm having. No, there's two kinds of mistakes. There's I'm drinking my coffee out of a weird thing today. Mistake. Roll with that. That'll teach you things about life. There's I made a mistake that's going to fundamentally alter this entire day and cause me not to get my responsibilities done. Don't roll with that. Put that one on ice. Choose the best mistakes to define your day. Become a mistake connoisseur. That's what my old gaffer used to teach me. Toby, he says, not all mistakes are created equal, my boy. The wise man chooses his mistakes carefully. Chooses which mistakes he wants to ratify and incorporate into the rhythm of his day. Sadly, he didn't pass that accent on to me. But you know, embracing the wrong kind of mistake, rolling with the wrong kind of mistake, and letting it define my day, was itself a mistake. And you know what the right solution to that was? Was to roll with that. And I let all weekend now be a time, you know, where we're spending quality time together to kind of work with this whole past mistake that I had made and the current mistake of spending all Saturday morning talking about it. And that turned out okay. So pick carefully which mistakes to roll with. And then if you make a mistake in that decision, roll with that. Still roll with mistakes. That's still the main thing. I'm out. Guess that means I'm out of time for the vlog. That's the kind of vlog I'm recording, is one where I ran out of pipe right as I almost ran out of point. So I guess I am out of point. Good journey. Are you done?
I'm done.
You're done?
I'm done.
Did any poop go in the potty?
No.
Where did it go?
Shush it.